Hey Clayton. One of the most fascinating things that I've learned over the last few months is how strongly correlated a commute is with unhappiness, both with where we work and with where we live. And as somebody that takes an admittedly short drive every day to work, I can totally understand this. I can only think of two ways to solve this problem, Claiborne, and one of them is to move closer to where we work or work closer to where we live. And lots of people our age are doing just that. But it's not always an option. Steph and I used to live in an apartment that was within visual distance of where I work, but buying a house meant extending our commute, not shortening it. Even still, our commute is shorter now than when I was teaching, when it was a 45-minute commute one way from that apartment. So then there's the other option. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, Claiborne. The importance of public transportation. I put together my LEGO train recently and I realized that LEGO makes a lot of public transportation sets. They make trains and buses and ferries and bikes. And I know it seems a little odd to include bikes in public transportation, but San Antonio actually has two modes of public transportation: buses and bikes. I think you may remember Steph talking about our bus system in San Antonio. I think it could use a lot of work. It's great if you live in the central parts of town where the bus runs every 15 or 20 minutes. We also have the bike share system, with its network slowly spreading over San Antonio. You check out a bike at one waypoint and you ride it to the next, where you leave it and go about your day, and somebody else then borrows it to go about theirs. It's a cool idea, but I don't think it's spreading far enough or fast enough. And I think that's the case for public transportation in general. Cities need mass public transportation, Claiborne. They need a way to move large amounts of people shorter distances and even shorter times, because there are a lot of people with places to go and things to do. And most of us are terrible drivers. The human body just isn't engineered to move fast and react to people spilling their coffee while we put on our lipstick. San Antonio is one of the largest cities in the US without rail, Claiborne, and it also has a lot of economic disparity and segregation. And that's the other reason that we need public transportation. We need a way to move people to jobs so that we can increase their freedom of movement, but also their freedom of residency, so that they can pick where they live without directly and negatively impacting their opportunities. It makes a lot of sense that LEGO makes train sets, Claiborne, because in Europe there are a lot of trains. You can take a train not only between cities, but between countries. And it allows people to not only live, but also to work in places that are economically advantageous to them. Here in the US, you live where you can afford, but it has a direct impact on your opportunity. We have our sides here in San Antonio. We have the east side and the west side and the south side, where I used to teach, with its limited economic growth and a bus route that runs only twice a day, once in the morning to pick refinery workers up and once in the evening to drop them off. And a whole lot of nothing in between for people that are shift workers or need to go to the grocery store or the laundromat. And I was fortunate that I was able to change careers to a job that was close to where I lived, but not everybody has that opportunity. One day, Claiborne, the cars will all drive themselves and we won't really own them anymore. And at that point, I guess everything will be public transit of some sort. And I think that era is near. But in the meantime, I think that there is a great case for public transportation. And it's not just amazing LEGO sets. I'd love to hear your thoughts on public transportation, Claiborne. I know you have a lot more experience with it than me, something for which I am mildly jealous. But that also means that you may have a different story on the pros and cons. I'll see you on Tuesday. Over and out.